K-Dub, does Boston?
I think that also similar to the way that we talked about how Chris Paul makes the Clippers a better team just from that point guard standpoint. That's the same way you can look at Rajon Rondo. You know, this guy can basically affect the game and not necessarily have to score a point. You know, he affects the game in so many different ways from that point guard position, setting the table for your Ray Allens, your Paul Pierce, your Kevin Garnett, and other role players. You know, so that's another thing that separates the Celtics from a number of other teams as well. With the Hawks, I tend to look at the Hawks the same way that I look at the Atlanta Falcons. You know, they have a very good year, they have a very good season, but then when it comes down to the playoffs, they kind of fizzle out. The one thing that Rashawn made mention to was just how when you're in the playoffs, teams can focus on you. They're paying attention to the detail and the different things, your tendencies that you plan to do. And it seems as though that with Atlanta, that is the constant with them when it comes to the playoffs. You know, they have a very good team, very young team. Josh Smith, you have Joe Johnson. You even have Teague running the point, who's shown to be one of the younger, more exciting point guards in the league. So out of that series, I think that with Boston being up 3-1, I think that their experience is going to, yeah, exactly.
I don't think
just from their experience, I think that they'll win the series. Now, whether or not it'll go 6 games, that's.
I don't think there's any.
I think that with Boston's experience, they know that they need to close them out, and they're gonna come down tomorrow and go ahead and shut the Hawks down.
I don't think the Hawks have a chance. To be honest with you, I think
the last thing is this. I think the difference in the series is the Boston Celtics are working their game plan at an A, and I think the game plan of the Atlanta Hawks is a D minus, because any 2 times you got a point guard like Rajon Rondo, where his biggest attribute is his vision and playmaking ability, and you give him 6 feet to do that. I really think Larry Drew is a decent coach, but his preparation for this series was awful. As a coach, or I don't know if he did that or if it was the team, but Larry, playing off of Rajon Rondo because he cannot shoot, I think you should put pressure on Rondo, because if he turns his back, it makes those passes go from having 14 assists to 8 assists in a game, because he doesn't have the vision to be able to make those thread-the-needle passes that he's been making, or being able to just pick apart your defense because you're playing off from 6 feet, trying to make him shoot. He's smart enough to know when you give him 6 feet, he's going to drive the 6 feet and be able to make a play.
I'm gonna tell you, the Indiana Orlando series is probably for me the least watched, because I don't care about anybody on either one of those teams. Give me a reason to watch this series. I mean, obviously, it's just about over. Indiana's going to wrap it up.
Series.
Indiana's going to wrap this up, bro. Tell me why, and let's make it quick on this one, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on them since I want to get to Miami and New York. But just tell me, as a person who watches basketball as much as you do, why should we watch this series? Snore. Or why should we when it was 0-0? Why did we care in the beginning?
Snore.
Well, you watch it because you live in Indianapolis or you live in Orlando. That's the only reason you watch that series.
Right.
Because Indiana, the excitement that they've generated over the last few years should have swept the Orlando Magic without Dwight Howard.
Right.
But Orlando has shown that, they're a tough, scrappy, team with Big Baby and Jameer Nelson and J.J. Redick, other big guy, playing the way that they play. They're making big shots, and they're really playing very, very well. Duke's got the playoffs on lock. Just every team. I really can't even. We'll go into that another time, but but seriously, it's a series that's very, very boring. I mean, it's like watching a D-League team, 2 D-League teams play in the championship game. And in a championship game, I haven't watched the game in that series since the first game of the series. I just seen highlights and really don't care what happens because Indiana's making it so in such a tough time with Orlando. Whoever they play in the next series is going to beat them to a pulp.
I got you.
As a result.
Let's move on to I guess last but not least, let's move on to a series that obviously has my attention as a Knicks fan. I'm very strongly on record as being a Knicks fan. And what I'm going to say, and I'm going to kind of go ahead and make my statement on it, and then I'm going to throw it out to whoever wants to get in on it. First thing is this. Knicks down 3-1. Knicks going to Miami. Knicks don't have a snowball's chance to win this game. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening, really. Now, this is coming from the guy who's a homer, but I'm also an intelligent basketball fan. You don't have a backcourt. It's not that you don't have a point guard. You don't have a backcourt. You don't have anybody back there. You got Landry Fields and Mike Bibby that's going up against Mario Chalmers and Dwayne Wade. Okay? I don't see how you win at all. Now, I did compare the series to the Denver Lakers series for this reason and this reason alone. You got the underdog team who pretty much has no chance to win based on the odds and the talent level. I mean, anything can happen. We know that. But based on the odds and the talent level, if the New York Knicks somehow figure out a way to pull out this Game 5 tomorrow, I'm telling you, I'm going on record right now, they're going to win the series.
Bring Walt Clyde Frazier back.
If they win, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I will come back in this room next week with my chest puffed out and my body erect as I say, yo, I was right. If the New York Knicks win this game tomorrow, which I don't think they will, but if they do, they're winning Friday in New York and they're going back Sunday and they're gonna beat Miami. And here's why. Miami's gonna crumble under the pressure if they lose tomorrow.
Well,
man, you need to leave that stuff alone.
I heard that they were bringing back Allen Houston.
I mean, let's be serious. Let's be serious. Be serious.
Why we even talk about it? Because there's just no way.
I already said that. I already said that. But if we're gonna analyze the series, we talking about a team that got blown out by 100 points in the first game. That pretty much did show up much in the second. They played a little bit more competitively in the second game, and then they lost a tough one at home before pulling out a tough one at home. Doug, pick up there. I mean, I'm on record with my thoughts. I'm gonna let the guests kind of get in on this one.
Here's how I look at it. And just made it to the hospital. That's where the Knicks at.
What's that now?
They are on life support. I looked at Game 3. To be honest with you, after they lost Game 3, I personally said that I wish that Game 3 was the last game of the series. I really thought that they were going to stink the joint up on Sunday, and I think that it was just by sheer heart and being, not wanting to lose another game on that streak. To be honest with you, I say it like this. I'm going on the record. I'll say that if that game was in Miami, the series is over.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you what made me mad.
Reports were that the night before, the Heat were at the 40-40 club.
Yeah, yo. I'm going to tell you what made me mad.
I'm 40 times 40.
I'm going to tell y'all what made me mad. This is what made me mad. I'm watching the game, right? The Knicks win the game, and you look up and you saw confetti.
Exhausted.
Yeah, but you saw confetti, yo. Confetti, yo, in Game 4, and you was down 3-0. Yo, that's Bush League, yo.
I think that decision for the confetti was, one, that was for the fans, and two, that was definitely not a basketball person's idea.
No, it was the Garden. It was the Garden because they do it for Rangers games. But, yo, really, confetti? You down 3-0, and you ain't won a playoff game in 11 years, and you probably going to get your ass beat the next time you play, and they dropping confetti on you?
But that's why you got confetti, because y'all won a game in
you don't have confetti until you win the series.
Those guys passed out on the court. Now, I agree. In game 4, they played their hearts out, but they gave it everything they had.
That was it.
They're done.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even come to the game.
Hey, I tell you what, how about the 3 of us and the 2 of y'all go play in their place? Because that's how, we might as well. You can play center row. You the tallest.
But look, you know what? I'll go on record by saying this. If by somehow, some way, the grace of, the grand architect of the universe has it that the Knicks win tomorrow, oh, listen. New York is going to listen.
If the Knicks win tomorrow, I listen. If the Knicks win tomorrow, I will build a new garden.
Hey, look.
We got it on tape, ladies and gentlemen. We got it on tape.
Last thing I want to get into. Ro, I want to ask you this, dude. You played, right? Had you ever seen a girl run out onto the court looking for her man? You ever see that before, man?
No. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, what would you do if that happened?
I've never seen that happen. I've seen them get chased around outside in the tunnel, but I've never seen anybody run on the court.
Hey, Dub, can you explain to the listeners what happened?
Yeah, you gotta get Mark. You gotta get Ruben up to date. Basically, a jump off ran on the court.
Yeah, whose jump off was that?
Yeah, somebody's jump off ran up on the court.
Shut up. One of the players?
Yes.
Get out.
What I understand, I could be wrong, but from what I understand, that this is a known individual that was banned from the arena. The arena security knew of her. She's a stalker. I want to say that she was recently stalking Kenyon Martin, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, because the last time a civilian ran on the court,
Players of the club, they gave her a ticket.
the last time a civilian ran on the court, we had that in Detroit. So I'm shocked.
Wow.
I mean, what is Jermaine O'Neal who completely decked that guy who ran on the court?
Yeah, that was funny.
That was hilarious.
That was funny.
I mean, the whole thing wasn't funny, but that part when that dude ran Jermaine O'Neal like he was gonna do something, and Jermaine O'Neal just took him out. That was great.
That was.
Yeah, he gave him the nice nap.
Yep. Yo, K-Dub, Rashawn McLeod, thank you so much for taking an hour with us on our anniversary show, giving us your knowledge on the National Basketball Association. Really appreciate it, Dub. We're going to get back with you next week. Ro, you're welcome. Anytime you want to join us, we got 6 more weeks to playoffs, brother. Anytime you want to get in.
No doubt. Go Knicks. Go Knicks.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. You guys have a good night.
All right, man. Be easy. And if y'all don't get an anniversary cake, which I get like a honey bun, something like that.
Shit. I told you I'm giving them lint out my pocket. Lint out my pocket.
I mean, we ain't get a fake certificate or nothing.
Nothing. That's what's up. K-Dub and Rashawn McLeod. Thank you, fellas. Y'all have a good night.
All right, man. Y'all be easy.
Y'all be easy.
Take care.
All right, brother. Yo, that was a good segment. I appreciate the time they gave us. We're going to transition away from sports now, and we're going to move on to our entertainment and socially conscious hour. There was a huge movie that came out this weekend that broke all kinds of records. Them jokers got together like the Wu-Tang Clan. I want to see what my fellas got to say about it. Ain't no how Steppin, Marcus J. Back in a minute.
I spread like germ, flood the globe with the pestilence. The hard-headed never learn. This my testament to those burned. Play my position in the game of life, standing firm. On foreign land, jump the gun out the frying pan. Into the fire, transform into the ghost rider. A 6-pack and the street.